In Britain, the Labour candidate Andy Burnham has won the Makerfield by-election. In an emphatic victory, Mr Burnham won 55% of the vote. The result puts further pressure on Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who is now facing a probable challenge to his leadership from Mr Burnham.
In the end, it wasn't close. Andy Burnham romped home, getting more votes than all the other candidates put together.
Burnham Andrew Murray, commonly known as Andy Burnham, the Labour and Cooperative Party, 24,927.
His chief rival, Reform UK's Robert Kenyon, got almost 16,000 votes. His party boss, Nigel Farage, didn't turn up at the count. Mr Burnham claimed both a mandate and a mission.
People here have voted for change. They have voted for more power for the North and everywhere forgotten by Westminster. They have voted for hope.
So a big win for Andy Burnham in Makerfield. Now he has to go to Westminster as an MP and try and convince the entire Labour Party to make him its leader and Prime Minister. In London this morning, the Prime Minister sent his congratulations, but is ready to fight any challenge.
Now that Andy has won, which is really important, really good, he's a huge asset to us, then now will inevitably be a Manchester mayoralty by-election starting straight away. So it's important that we pull together for that. But if there is a contest, just to be clear with you, then yes, I will run, I will stand, and I've said repeatedly, I'm not going to walk away from that.
Later in Ashton and Makerfield, Andy Burnham again called for change, but avoided the leadership question.
And I say it again, it is our last chance to change, but we're going to take it, aren't we? We are going to take that opportunity and we are going to lay out a new path for Britain.
The undeclared Labour leadership contest is effectively on.
And let's speak to Sean now, who's in Wigan. Sean, this is what the Labour rebels were hoping for. So what's likely to happen next?
Well, as the Prime Minister said, there's no formal contest underway, but everybody knows there sure is an informal contest underway. And it is the question, what happens next, is the one on everybody's lips in political London, certainly, and the wider country, of course, as well. What is likely to happen is that Mr Burnham and Wes Streeting, the other likely contender in an election heave, are holding back. They're going to do nothing essentially over the weekend. Let the Prime Minister reflect on this victory for Andy Burnham, the scale of the victory, the fact that he was able to give a good pasting to Nigel Farage's Reform Party in a constituency where just a month ago Reform had won half of all the votes. Andy Burnham won more than half of all the votes that were cast in yesterday's by-election, 55%. So he's proven himself a winner against the chief threat to the Labour Party, which is the Reform Party, and that is his chief appeal to the Labour backbenchers who are terrified of losing their own seats. So he has got a lot to offer to the party. The question is, can they avoid the kind of internal bloodletting, the kind of internal feuding, the long drawn out drip of resignations that brought down people like Boris Johnson and did so much damage to the Conservative Party? That is the art, I guess, of trying to engineer a peaceful transition, if you like. But if they can't, if the Prime Minister hangs on, because he's saying, I'm the one who won this more than 400 seats in Parliament, brought Labour from opposition into government with a huge majority, I'm the one who really has the mandate here. He seems intent on fighting on, but most observers on the outside say he has no chance. He is in that Boris Johnson last few days of his empire period now, and the sooner he recognises that and decides to step down of his own volition, the better it will probably be for the Labour Party as a whole. Sharon?
Sean Whelan from Wigan, thank you for that.
And staying with Andy Burnham's victory in the Makerfield by-election, we're joined now by Lucy Fisher, Whitehall editor with the Financial Times. Lucy, we were expecting this to be a close by-election, but in the end, Andy Burnham had a big victory. Will that give him a boost? Will that give him momentum as he heads into this expected leadership challenge?
I think that's absolutely the case. And we've heard today, even from Starmer's allies, how impressed they've been at his ability to have won a more than 9,000 vote majority in this seat of Makerfield, south of Wigan, especially given that Reform UK won all the council seats in the area just last month. So it does show Andy Burnham can beat reform locally. He will now be arguing to the Labour Party that they should elect him leader and allow him to try and attain the same feat nationally at the next election.
Now, Keir Starmer has said again today that he will fight on. If there's a leadership contest, he will engage in it. Do you think that's realistic? Do you think we could see him just stepping aside over the coming hours and days?
I think all bets are off, really. It seems right now his psychology is in such a place that he feels very aggrieved. We hear from his friends. He feels he hasn't received enough credit for bringing the party to a famous victory in 2024 when it won more than 410 of the Commons' 650 seats. So there is this sense of defiance in his tone. He has repeatedly said in the past week that there needs to be a contest. He isn't simply going to roll over and hand Burnham the keys to Downing Street, and that if there is a formal race that's triggered, he will stand and fight. However, already today we know that Heidi Alexander, viewed as a fairly equanimous, quite as a loyal cabinet minister, it is understood to have privately urged Starmer to set out a timetable for his exit. We understand that several more cabinet ministers plan to make a similar message to Starmer over the weekend. So things are changing at a very quick pace. And I think it's entirely plausible to say if the Prime Minister sees the palace walls crumbling around him, he could yet renege on that sort of vow to stand in any contest.
Now, Andy Burnham, of course, very much being put up on a pedestal by many in Labour, but of course he has run for the leadership twice before and lost. He's been accused by his critics of being a bit of a flip-flopper that changes his views depending on the way the wind is blowing. He's also very popular in the north, very popular in Manchester. So can he have wider national appeal? Has he some challenges to face?
Well, look, he's Labour's most popular figure nationally. He seemed to have done a good job in Manchester, which in many league tables, whether it's for growth or unemployment rates, is among the best in Europe over the past few years. It's fair to say that he continued some of the reforms and policy proposals led by other luminaries of the Manchester local government scene. He wasn't the originator of many of the ideas that make up Manchesterism, as it's now being known. And you're right to say that he did stand for the leadership twice before and didn't make much headway. Interestingly, today's Parliamentary Labour Party contains 2/3 of MPs who arrived in the Commons since he left. So in many ways, he's a bit of an unknown phenomenon for them, at least in terms of his record in Westminster. He does yet face a lot of challenges. If he does make progress and secures a path to the top job, he's facing difficult fiscal constraints. Many people point out that he'd still be constrained by much of the same mandate that Keir Starmer has, unless he wanted to draw up a new manifesto and go to the country. There are different views across the party about how much he could really introduce a different policy platform. All that said, he has a different personality, one that seems to appeal to many MPs who see how his message of hope and change seems to have done very well on the doorstep in Makerfield.
OK. Lucy Fisher, Whitehall editor with the Financial Times. Thank you very much for joining us this evening.